Hello and welcome to another episode here on the Skiing is Believing podcast, officially brought to you by Ski Racing Media. Alan and I have got a very up-to-date and recent conversation to share with you with Aleix Linse and Martin Fahrner, names you might not know from the World Cup circuit, but they are names you might well become familiar with in the future because they are Aleix, the founding member, and Martin, now the new head coach of the Edge ski team. You could say the new Team Global Racing, but as you hear here, they don't want to exactly be compared to them or World Racing Academy, but they are the newest and I suppose at the top of the Team Global Racing order in terms of those private teams now, Alan, and it was fascinating to get that insight.
It was, yeah. Yeah, very interesting. And listening to them, I'm sure with their determination and skill, they will achieve what they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aleix went to the last World Championships in Saalbach and he hopes to go to February's in Crans-Montana. Martin has been head coach and was founder of World Racing Academy over 10 years ago and has worked with top athletes, the likes of Eric Reed, Seigo Kato and Louis Mullen-Schulte, and the Australian has now actually transferred over to the Edge to join 8 other athletes with 2 head coaches in charge. They speak about the whole reason they started for Aleix when, without a federation with the Netherlands, he had to go private with one of his great friends from the FIS circuit. He's now got Europa Cup ambitions, as well as getting as many of those 9 members of the team to the World Championships in February. And as you say, Alan, that determination. And you were very interested with Martin's approach on mindset.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, because I, as you know, I think a lot of it is in the head. And that wasn't a pun for the skis.
No.
But I think
good skis, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, though, in the head and the mindset of people. And once they get over that, then they've a good chance of moving on, I think.
Yeah. This isn't just a great conversation about ski racing, it's a great conversation about private teams and around that and around mentality of athletes. It's a real deep dive on a lot of things to do with the sport and to do with personal life. It's applicable to a lot of different things. But without further ado, it is now my Skiing is Believing podcast's pleasure to share this conversation with you here with Aleix Linse and Martin Fahrner. So enjoy. Aleix, Martin, welcome to the Skiing is Believing podcast. How are you guys doing?
Very good, very good. How about you?
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Yeah, excited to have you guys on the show to talk about something very new and something that's pretty exciting. So, Aleix, why don't you start off by just telling us how this Edge ski team came together and how it's kind of grown over this summer with the other global teams kind of disappearing almost.
Yeah, well, so the story, how it started, is a long story. I'll keep it a bit shorter than it actually is. But I was in a private team a few years ago with some other guys. Long story short, we had very different ways of thinking how to get to the top with that team. So we decided to go separate ways. That happened in January. We were left out without equipment, without a lot of money, without a lot of help, which was the consequence of us leaving, which is fine. And then we wanted to continue that season. It was, at that moment, it was me and Dennis Wilgrate. This is one of our teammates still now. And then we gave ourselves 3 weeks time from 7 in the morning till 11 at night to work as hard as we can to get skis again, to get some funding maybe, to get a coach for the season, at least for the last 3 months of the season, because we were fit. We didn't want to quit the season. So then we were working very hard. We got it in 2 weeks. We got a lot of help of a lot of people because they liked our story. So that was well, thank you to all of those people that helped in that period. We finished the season pretty well. We were happy how it went. And then we were thinking of joining a new team. Obviously, me being from the Netherlands, there was no national team. Dennis being Italian was very tough to get in the national team. So then we were like, all right, what are the options? What teams could we join? And then we didn't want to rely on luck again, as we did the previous year. So we said, you know what, if we could do all of that, what we did in winter for those 2 weeks, we can do it, and we can make our own team in the whole summer. And then in the beginning, I think we were thinking it was a bit easier than it actually is. So we fell on our noses a few times, but then we realized if we work hard, we stay the way we are, and we have the same goal, and we're convinced it's going to work. It's going to work. And then the first year, we got 3 great athletes on the team. Very thankful they joined. I think it was also nice for them. But at that moment, it's obviously not so easy to get people on board. Talking about coaches, talking about athletes, talking about sponsors, because for a lot of people, it was still more like a project or an idea more than a team that it was already existing. So it was really nice that it worked, that people believed in us. So the first year was 5 athletes, 1 coach. The second year was 7 athletes. We got 2 new athletes, which worked out great. We were a bit unlucky. We wanted to get a second coach, but that didn't work out. But 2 people got injured, which is shit, but if I may use that word, sorry. But it worked out that, like, because we only had 1 coach, it worked out that we were 5 athletes during that season, and then we went separate ways again with that coach, and then we decided, okay, whatever is going to happen now, the next coach we have has to be the coach that's going to bring us to the World Cup, that's going to bring us to the next level. So it was a make or break summer that we knew that this was going to be the breakthrough. We had to get it all perfect. So then I made a list of coaches that I heard of that I was convinced that were good. And then I sat down with one of my very first coaches, Marco Tumler, and then I went through the list with him because I really trust him. And then one of the guys on that list was Martin, and I didn't know his availability or if it was possible or not. And then he texted him, and then we got in touch like this, and we had a few conversations, and it sounded really nice from both sides, and that's how we got together.
Very good.
So, good story, not so short, but.
And Martin, from your side, you've been working with so many different athletes from so many different nationalities, but the last couple of years with World Racing Academy. So what already can you see as differences between WRA and what Alex has created at the Edge?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was kind of I was in between. I didn't know, I was really like thinking about myself, about my life, because I became a father, and then things
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then things change a lot, and I was thinking with my girlfriend also, and we were talking, what should we do? And yeah, and then I was like coming to the conclusion with Aleix. We had really good talks, and I was really happy like how he organized, and he's amazing with this stuff, like budget and stuff. He's really good with this, which is, I have to say, in my team in WRA, it was always the point I didn't like so much to work about budget. And I hate to talk about money. I mean, you should and you have to, but it's not cool, I'm just happy when I can coach and I can work and I don't have to think so much about this stuff. So we had good talks, and then we found out this could work really well. And the differences, yeah, of course there are differences. I mean, I was always my own boss in WRA years. In 8 years, I was the leader. So I was taking care of everything. So also for me, I have to let go a bit. He also tell me sometimes, look, Martin, I handle it and not just you, So I'm like, yeah, thanks. Because I'm not used to this, I was always alone, fighting everywhere by myself with my other coaches, but still it was on me all the time. And then, so we ended up like this. And then the differences are, I mean, it is, the boys are younger, which is also, I mean, I had Balint, who is also young, and I took him with me into the new team, and also Mul Schulte. But the differences are a bit like, it's a different level, I would say, but the level is also, it's nicer because the boys can learn more things. And like with the World Cup guys, you're specifically working on details and like small changes, And with these guys, it's a bit different. Not that it's not just a different level, it's a different work a bit. You just have a bigger window, I feel like. So what I can say, we already skied 4 weeks, and I see really big improvements. I have to say, the boys are really doing a good job. They pick it up really quick, the pace. And that's really nice, because with a World Cup skier, you're in this small window. So it's more like, okay, you work on details, you work on small stuff, but then the main thing is then conditions, like good trainings, good conditions, like to keep the level on a really high standard so they can do their job. Now it's a bit different. They have to still learn stuff and still improve. So for me, it's actually kind of really nice, because I can do I can make more happen, you know, like happens more, and like more things can change. So it is for sure different. It's for sure a different challenge, but I like it really much, I have to say. Like it's interesting, yeah.
Alan, we've obviously seen so much success from these national teams and heard some of the inspirational stories coming out of WRA, and particularly Team Global as well. So it's nice to see this again, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I'll tell you what interests me, the fact that Martin focuses a lot on mental. Yeah, thank you. The mental attitude, and from what I gather, that is a very important part of your coaching. Am I right?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I always say, like, you know, also with these guys, they are really good skiers. Like you don't need to teach them suddenly how to ski a turn. They ski way better than me. I don't need to tell them how to arc a turn or whatever. But of course, you can work on stuff, as I said, on small stuff and change, and also major stuff sometimes. But the biggest thing is it's in the brain. Like what happens in the brain is amazing. Like I saw it with the World Cup guys also. It's always about that. Like everyone there with the last pip is also skiing great on the World Cup. You know, always people think, just the top 30, they ski amazing. No, the level is so high, and it's getting even higher. Like I saw it over the years. The level is so competitive. So the brain and what you think mentally, it's major. Like I would say it's even more than all the rest, because they can ski. Everyone can ski well. I always say that. Also, these guys, they have the level. I mean, I saw now different levels. I also started with WRA. I had lower level, and then I got to the World Cup level, and we scored points in the last 4 years, World Cup points with WRA. But the change is, the biggest thing is just mental, I think.
And for us, I have to say, like, this is a present to have someone that's already been there, that knows what it takes, not just skiing wise, but mentally. Like you say, you know, like there's a lot of ways that lead to Rome, but we know that this one works. So this one does lead to Rome. So for us to know that if we put our trust 100% in him, and that we can just blindly follow him, and we know it's just up to us then how hard we work, because he brings everything to the table. So also mentally, and that's really nice for us, just knowing that the next step we have to take, that it is possible with him.
Yeah, would you say that was the biggest barrier between excellent skiers and World Cup skiers? Would you say the mental side is probably the biggest barrier they've got to get over before they actually?
For sure, one of the biggest ones, I would say. I mean, of course, if you have whatever, there's also with the World Cup guys, there's also material, a big part of it, that you adapt as good as possible to the conditions and stuff. Also, of course, if you prep like not really good, you have no chance. I get that. Like that's just the main thing. But the mental side is huge. That's for sure.
Yeah, because even if you rely on equipment, but you've got to have it in your head that you're happy with your equipment. Exactly. If the conditions are bad, you've got to have it in your head that you can handle the conditions. So it's all back to here, isn't it? You know.
Exactly. I had racers who were amazing, like, you know, they were great skiers, and you saw like he's doing the right things, but when the material and stuff, and then whatever, it's about material, but when they don't take this, there are so many racers who are really good in training. We have thousands of them, but then in the race they can't do it. So that's also a difference. Like for example, when I was last year with Eric Reed is always on a solid, like he was always there, you know, so he was always solid, so you could rely on him, but also on the races, you know, so he was a racer who was really like capable to do the level he can bring, he brought to the races. Others were really much higher, maybe in training, they skied better than him, but then in the races they just fall apart, they were like nowhere. So I saw it, you know, I saw a lot of stuff in this last years. It's really interesting. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah.
Alex, you spoke about making that next step and making an appointment that could take you guys to the next level.
Yeah.
Is the appointment of Martin with that in mind to start getting World Cup stats for yourselves? And obviously there's a couple of guys in that team already that have been there that Martin's brought over from WRA.
Yeah, well, I think the nice thing is from our team is that all athletes have been through a tough time, but all athletes also have the same goal. It's not just to get a World Cup start, it's we want to get to the very top. So that with that in mind, having a coach that knows how to get there and having all athletes motivated to get there. I think, this is definitely the step we needed to make. And I have to say, there was a lot of hard work behind it, but that the fact that everything came together and actually worked out. It's not just Martin. We have also Davis on the team, which is very nice to have. It's our other coach. He's also been a service guy. So we were just talking about equipment, having someone that has that knowledge as well. Super nice to have on the team. And what I'm saying, like, we're 9 athletes now with the same mindset, 2 coaches with the same mindset. So having all that put together and everyone being so motivated and having such a clear goal of not just making it to the World Cup, but just being good in World Cup, winning World Cups in the future. We're all a similar age. We're all in a similar position. I think the setup right now couldn't be better to get there. And I'm happy that everyone is in a position now where he can make it. I can see it for myself because I'm an athlete as well, and I know what I need, and being able to, like, while I know what I need, I can also offer this to other athletes in a similar situation. So I think everyone right now is really happy, and everyone sees that it's possible now with this setup. So I think this was a great step we made this summer.
So I bet you're really waiting and can't wait for November to come round when you get on the skis and start racing properly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're flying tomorrow to South America to ski. So
right. Good.
We're gonna be racing before that. So we're gonna do. I think for us now, we have a lot of guys that are points wise on the limit with FIS races. So a lot of, let's say with the adder of last year with the +8, but a lot of guys that are close to the 23. So now we're going to do the South American races. I think that's exactly the step we need to make, exactly the level that we should, or like the races that we should be chasing. Of course, we should not forget that we also need the FIS races, but we should also not think that we're already there to ski World Cup. So we're going to really take it step by step. And I think South American races are the first step. And then we'll continue from there.
Good. It comes to my attention that it's not cheap to take 11 guys and all their equipment to South America. So how does the funding for this team work? Because it is obviously an issue for each athlete independently, but bringing you together in this team is, I presume, making it easier for everybody.
So I think one of the major things for me was to make it as cheap as possible for all these athletes, because they're in the same situation as I am, and I know it's a super expensive sport, as everyone knows. I have to say we have a lot of sponsors that support us, and we don't show all of them because a lot of them just really believe in the story, just really want us to see us succeed. So huge thank you to them. That's one of the reasons why we can make it cheap. Even though that's not what we want to stand for, our cheap prices, we want to stand for a professional team and for our mindset and, let's say, our underdog position. But I have to say that is huge. I think it not only attracts a lot of people, but it makes the life easier for all of us athletes. Now specifically for Chile or for South America, how you said it, we found a sponsor that's willing to pay for our cargo shipment. I think that was really the thing that made this trip possible. I think it's still expensive, but without that, it would have maybe been a bit too expensive. This way, it works out perfectly. So, I think without these sponsors, it would have maybe been possible, but we just want to make it as comfortable and as professional for everyone while not paying too much. And they've been huge for us.
And obviously beyond that, I would imagine you guys are going to be in different places quite a lot of the time during the season when somebody's racing a World Cup here, a Europa Cup there. So what is that going to look like, and how do you guys generate the spots from your national teams from outside it?
Well, the good thing is,
or in nations that don't have national teams like yours, Alex.
Yeah, I think that's the main group we target with this team. It's people that either got kicked out of national teams or are in such a small nation that there is no national team. So I think creating spots is not the biggest issue. Maybe with Dennis, as I mentioned before, he's Italian, that might be a bigger issue. But I think also we're not going to split up that much. We have a similar level. Our mindset is staying together, helping each other. We're really one. That's one of the first things I said to all the athletes. Like, I've mentioned this a few times, but if you compare us to national teams, we're basically 1-0 behind, because they have way more funds, they have everything organized, and we have to do everything by ourselves. So also heads off to all the other athletes on the team. So for us, where can we equal that to 1-1, or where can we get close, is by being one team, helping each other, working as hard as possible with each other. So that's why I think we won't be splitting up too much. Unless it's really necessary. We're not gonna be stupid about it. If someone gets a great chance and he's in form and he can score great Europa Cup points, or he gets a World Cup start, of course we're gonna split up. That's why it's good that we have 2 coaches as well. We're gonna have enough vehicles as well during the winter, so we will do that if necessary. But I think our strength is being one, and I think that's why we're not gonna split up too much.
And Martin, from your perspective, from a coaching angle, how do you guys, as Alex put it there, equalize this and make it 1-1? And where are those gains to bring you that bit closer to the best national teams in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty experienced with this stuff, so I saw it in the last years. I saw quite a lot, so I know what it takes. I mean, it's just hard work, as I said. I mean, you need to, that's also one thing I talked with Aleix about, because I was like, you cannot hire like someone like me and then expect, okay, whatever, next year we ski whatever top 20 World Cup. It's just hard work. I told them, it's not like I have nothing magic. I know what it takes and how we can get there, but we all have to work hard. It's starting with me, and then it goes to the Avis and to the others. So everyone has to work just hard. There is no real secret or whatever. I mean, there are some clues you can do, and some experience, and where the conditions are good right now, and you have contacts. That's important. But then at the end, it's on them. They have to work hard. And I also said, because I think first he was a bit worried about level, and some guys, whatever, have 50, I don't know. But I was like, he told me like the boys have a really good mindset. And when I heard that, like that he is looking more for guys who have a good mindset, because in my last years in WRA, it was tough, because you're in this, it's tough because you need to take really good guys. You have to keep the level super high, but then you don't, you want to get to meet the people also, and then sometimes you're just like, yeah, he's good, we have to take him, which is tough. Now we have really good characters. I met nearly everyone. So I think one guy is missing, one guy. And then, I met them and I saw like they really want this, and I don't really care where they are at the level right now or how they ski, because I think we can get them to a point where they can ski the best they can. That's the goal. We cannot do more. When the end is there and that's the end, it's good. But then at least we went to the very top and to the thing they can really do. So that's and then of course it's hard work, as I said. I mean, I did it I remember in WRA, I took one guy Filippo, he had 50 points, and then he went down to the top 8 in the world. He was an Italian, and no one expected this. So that is really, I think, also the beauty of this job and of coaching, because I feel like then they don't believe it maybe right now that they can do it, but then when they do it, they really are like, fuck, this is crazy, like this is amazing, like what we're doing. And that's the stories you like. That's the same with Paul. I talked with Paul from Global, the same. He said, this is the stories you do this job. And that's great. And that's what I want to write. I want to write with the boys again, some good stories and some good, yeah.
I think it's super cool that the way he sees it, because I think it's the same way I see it and the rest of the athletes. And I think it's worth mentioning exactly because of the example with Filippo, what you just said, from 50 to top 80 in the world. I think that's exactly also the way we recruit, let's say, if you want to put it that way. We don't look per se at points. Of course, there's some base level that there needs to be, because you train together, you race together. So you want to do the same races, you want to fight against each other also in training. But we look way more at the mentality of someone, at someone's past, at someone's story. How far do they want to go to get it? What is their goals? Is it I'll do one more season in NLC, or is it I want to work hard for the next 5 seasons, or is my goal being a world champion, or is my goal to do a World Cup start? And I think when I started the team, or when we started the team, I should say, it was easy to just try and go for good points or good athletes because it looks good towards the outside. But for me, I always had the mindset the only way it's going to work is if you get a group of guys together that are willing to get there, no matter what their level is, no matter what they have to do, and that's going to be the only way that we're going to make it as a team and individually. So I think it's really nice to be able to have that in a team and to have a coach that appreciates that. I think both coaches really appreciate the fact that we have these athletes, and the whole atmosphere in the team is so much better because of that. And I think everyone's really happy with this.
Yeah. The thing I was thinking about is you've got what, 10 athletes now?
9 athletes.
9 athletes. Would there be an opportunity for anybody in the future to increase that number? Or are you happy to stay with what you've got, sort of thing?
Look, we're in a situation right now, luxury situation, where we have 9 great athletes, all motivated. No one's looking like he's going to quit anytime soon. So we're in a situation where we don't need to take new athletes. I think that is a great position to be in, because then it's a choice. It's not a need. So we definitely have that. But honestly, if I'm being like, I enjoy so much helping these guys, and I think Martin does too. But to be honest, if you have 2 coaches, I think 9 is towards the maximum. So if there would be a situation where we want to help more people, or we want to have more athletes on the team, then we would have to make a separate group, a second group under the same name. But that is something that is still in the air. And for now,
for the future, though.
It's right now we're in such a good situation. We're all super happy how it is. We made a big step this summer. So I think we're going to focus now on this season. We're going to start with the group as we have it, which is already way better than expected, or it's a 10 out of 10. So that's a or not a problem. That's a luxury situation, but for later.
Yeah, good.
Alex, let's talk about your career a little bit, because you went to World Championships, which I'm sure was an amazing experience in Saalbach. So is that on the cards again this year in Crans-Montana, and what are the goals for yourself personally for 26-27?
So for 26-27 individually, I think I have big goals, I think, but I'm also 25 already, so that step needs to come now. I'm not stressed about it. I'm very confident. I had a very good summer with physical training. We have a very good team around, as we mentioned. So I think my main goal is to start scoring points in Continental Cups. That's the first step towards the World Cup. Definitely World Champs is one of my goals. Realistically, as of now, I know that I'm not at the level yet where I can compete for top 20, top 15 spots. So it's definitely going to be also a good experience, but I don't want to go there just to start. Like if I go there, I'm obviously going to try and make the best out of it. And obviously I'm going to try, without doing anything crazy, but reach my maximum level. And then it's going to be either a reality check, or it's going to be a very nice experience but at least I will know where I'm at, and I will be able to compare myself to the best athletes, and then I will know how much more work is there that I need to do. And I think being from a small nation, of course, how I mentioned before, like I don't want to be there just to participate, but to have the chance to get a start spot with the points I'm at right now is a great opportunity for me and the other athletes to at least know where you're at and to compare yourself with the best, because I don't think many people with our, let's say, world ranking get the chance to do that. So I will definitely make use of that, and then I'll see how much work there's left.
Mm-hmm. And just touching back there, because we mentioned Martin coming over and how helpful that is, but what about him bringing Louis and Balint with him? Is that really important to have those races with World Cup experience and World Championship experience, Olympics, I think, as well for Balint?
As I mentioned before, for me it was more important how they were personally, how they were mentally, and for me, when he said yes to us, the first 2 names he mentioned and he stood up for were these 2 guys. Of course, we talked about other guys, but he said so many nice things about him, and I trusted Martin 100%. That said a lot about them for me, and it was for me when he said that made me that it convinced me, okay, if Martin is such a fan of those 2 guys, then they must be great, not just athletes, but also like great personalities, and that's what attracted me to them, and that's when I started talking to them, and they were, we hit it off right away, and I could see why Martin liked them so much. So for sure that experience could help, but the main thing for me was that they have the same mentality as all the guys that were already on the team, and that they were gonna make the team stronger. And it was not like an investment. Okay, we got guys with good experience and good points, but the team atmosphere is going to be less. No, like for me, it was important that even was going to be stronger, and to have that's just perfect, to have people that are that good and that have that experience, plus that they can also bring something to the team off the slope. That's just very nice to have.
And Martin, you're obviously a big believer in global racing teams. That I would imagine, based off your last few years. So how far can you guys go in terms of, in comparison to a WRA or Team Global? Is that the end goal, to have several guys scoring World Cup points in a season?
I mean, I would not compare. I mean, now anyway, global is no more and WRA is no more, but I would not compare too much. I always like to write a new book, a new blank, whatever side, and then we go from there. Because this comparing what Paul did with global is amazing. I really respect it. Really, it's amazing. And also what we did with WRA was great. But now it's, I always try I also said to Aleix, when I join this team, I want to, I don't want to hear whatever WRA and stuff like this. We start from new, we start from scratch, and then see what's possible. This comparison, like, of course it was good when global and WRA was there. It was always a bit of a comparison, but now whatever, it's also a chance to start something new, to start fresh, and don't look back too much. I don't like to live in the past too much, because I think it's better to live in what right now and then in the future. And then of course the goals stay pretty much the same. We as I said, I want to achieve the best with everyone. Whatever is their best, we want to achieve, and then that's the goal. And what also, when Aleix and we spoke first, what was nice for me, and a new thing kind of, not was the fact that I can work longer with these guys. It's not like, because with WRA, and it was like, okay, you have 1 year, like you had a guy from Switzerland, for example. So you were like, okay, either he makes the team and I get a good job, or he's done, or he's like, yeah, I have to quit, Martin. I have not the money. I cannot do this anymore. And this is nice. Now I have really a perspective. I can say, okay, I'll work with these guys for 2, 3, whatever years. And that's also why Bali and Louis were good, because I work with them longer, and I know I can have also in the future, I can work with them. But as I said, then you had guys like whatever, an Italian, okay, we have one also, but it's like, okay, you don't make it, you're out, you're done, and that's tough, because you get to know the athlete, you start to feel like sympathy, and then after 1 year, boom, over. And I always say 1 year is tough. I think like the best improvement you can do is in the second year. Of course, you can do the first year also improvements, but I feel like after the second year, it really starts to work, because then you know the guy. Because now it's all nice, as we said, it's all perfect, but then we go to the first race, and then I really get to know them. Then I see, oh, it's a race, so it's a different, now he's different, he's stiff, he's like nervous, or he's whatever, overhyped, and then you get to know an athlete really. So I feel like the second year is always the better year, kind of, let's say.
So in reality, you're building a family.
Yeah, well, basically, but I have to say, like, it does take time. It does take time to build a family, but I have to say, I'm so surprised how close we already got. We had 3 camps now.
Yeah,
is it 2, 3 camps?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks in total, yeah. And the atmosphere is amazing. We're really close. Obviously, I knew Balint already a little bit, but like everyone's hitting it off so well, and so yeah, the family is definitely in the making.
Yeah, and that's a big bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an advantage we can have. Yeah, because that's for sure. I mean, I don't want to blame or say something about national teams, but I know it's different because they come. So this is an advantage we have. We're like a small or a big family actually, and that's, I feel like, really important for us.
Yeah,
I just want to touch back there on what you said about racing and how you can kind of learn a lot more from a race day. Is that why South America is so important this year, when you're such a new group? And Martin, you can look at that and go, this guy does this on race day, or
he's got a good result, but he's actually doesn't train as well as this other guy. How crucial is that to go into the season knowing what every individual is like on a race?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it. What's the plan first? I was not so convinced because I was like, oh, we should, we need longer that I can really tell you what I want to see on the snow and how we're going to work. But then me and Aleix spoke about, and then I saw the first 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, we can get there. It takes time, but you're learning quick, so we can pick it up and we can talk about it. And of course, it's an advantage in the summer already, so I can see, okay, the boys are struggling with this or that on the race day. And then I see more. Also, Davis will be there, mainly, or like he will be there, and he can tell me and he can let me know what are the problems, what are the good things. Because as I said, in training, it's all perfect. Everyone is skiing nice, everyone is great, everyone is fast, and then you go on a race and it's all shit. We know that. It goes pretty quick. From one point to the other, it's like, oh, it's all shit. I can't ski. So that's for sure an advantage. I also told them like this Chile, Ushuaia, and Argentina, it's all just preparation. Don't see it too much as races and don't put pressure on you. It's just a new start, and races are like training. I told them like it's not like you have to score this or I'm telling you you have to do this or that. No, it's like training. It's always easy to say. It will not be like that when it's then really there, the race, but it's a good start. So I get to know them a bit. Yeah.
It's also like this is great. Like he with how his mental, like he has his certificates and stuff, and all what you said before, like the mental aspect of skiing. Like if you sit together before you go to Chile and you make a plan and he tells you all this, then it also gives the athletes a lot of confidence because you can just blindly trust him and then we'll go there without stress. And I think it's very different if you have someone you can follow or you have to set all these little mental goals for yourself. So that's awesome.
Is it hard to explain to some of the athletes? Like you say, when they come down sometime in a race, they lose it. Is it hard to explain to them and get them to think on a different level so that they can achieve what they're capable of?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, even I was never really I was a solid skier, good skier, but I was pretty early. I injured myself and it was shit, so I had to stop. But I understand. I think also it's good that I'm still young. Let's say I'm not young anymore, but I'm still younger than other coaches. I think that's important because then I really feel the guys. I can understand, and then of course, in an emotion or whatever, I like emotions. I also tell my athletes. Or even I remember last year I said to Louis, and I don't know when, but or to Eric also, I said, like, when you're 31st, you don't go down and be happy. You're just like fucking pissed, sorry the language, but like, yeah. I like that, when people or like whatever McGrath did with the poses. I like this because this shows he cares, So I really always say, show the emotions. But then when that's over, you can have your whatever 3, 4, 5 hours, how long you need, or a day. But then the next day, come back, we talk about it, and then we go on, So that's really important. But the emotions I like a lot. I like when every sportsman shows emotion on TV or whatever. I love that because that really, he cares. So I like that.
Now for the past years, I'm working on getting rid of this, not throwing and stuff. And now you tell me.
But it's not always.
You need to still be respectful.
For sure. For sure, you need to be respectful and don't just scream around like crazy.
Exactly.
But
By the way, Martin, you are young.
I guess still young. I just feel older now with the baby. I'm a bit older.
Just wait until he takes his head off.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
No, but honestly, same, almost there. Just kidding. No, but honestly, such a young coach with so much experience. That's also so lucky.
Yeah, quite recently on a podcast, I was saying to someone, why are all the coaches old? Do you remember? Yeah.
Because
they are though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Why have we not got more young coaches? And here we are. We've got one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I also said, I mean, I understand experience and stuff is important and young coaches sometimes, but I would give more young coaches a chance also, like, because I feel like I see now some racers, you see quite a bit some coaching also. I saw Mauerberger, we saw Sette, some coaches, so, you know, and that's good because
They just retired and they're already straight into coaching.
But these are the best coaches because they know what's going on, you know, they felt it just the last year. So that's huge.
I also think like the retiring age is getting higher and higher. So now, like athletes that quit and go into coaching are actually do have the experience as a racer. They're a bit more mature, whereas maybe 10 years ago people would quit at 21, 22, and then that might be actually too young to be a great coach, or like there you actually might need a bit of maturing still to do. So now with people quitting later, I think that might be also one of the reasons why we might get more young coaches now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Martin, not too old to join in TikTok dances and stuff like that, no?
TikTok, not any, and Snapchat and this stuff. No, I'm too old for that. But I understand.
WhatsApp.
We're gonna make some deal that if we win a race or if we win some World Cup points.
No, I had crazy bets already going on. I
didn't make it, so.
No, some made it, but some bets we can do.
Don't worry, in 6 months you will see him doing TikTok dances in his underwear.
No check.
You'll be cameraman, Martin. Cameraman.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think
Instagram is enough, and I'm still on Facebook, so I'm still from the old generation, so it's fine, you know.
So there you will make the videos.
No, Facebook. I don't make any videos. No.
You've got to try. Keep trying, Alex.
Have
you got anything else to add?
No, it's fine.
Have you got a little bit more time? Because I've got some quick fire questions for you, just to finish off with.
Yes.
And I'll start with the best moment of your career. Alex, I'll go to you first.
I think it was this winter, like with Nick Hodermans, one of our teammates, starting 27th, 28th, both getting on the podium. He won, I was third on 400s. And when he came to me and he was like, but until like I came down, like you were 400s behind, you could have had such a great result. And he said, the fact that you were so happy for me, not even knowing how much ahead of you I was, and that he appreciated the fact that you can be happy for someone else, for your teammate, and it's not just rivalry. I think for him to realize that and come and hug me and being happy about that, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Very nice. Martin, same question.
Yeah, that's tough because that's unfair. That's
not so quick fire this, huh?
Yeah, that's no.
You didn't have time to think when I was
yeah, that's good. No, I just see the shirt Aspen, so I have to obviously mention like when Louis 2 years ago he scored World Cup points. I mean, it was just I scored also with other guys points, and it was also special. And I should also mention that, and also whatever there is still a lot, but it was special because we were there like. We looked a little bit ridiculous, let's say, because it was me and him, and that's it. And then there were like other teams with 20 staff, and then me and Louis show up with a backpack on the top. He was my second coach, so that was the course report. And then this guy was 27 or whatever in Aspen on the World Cup. That was great. Yeah,
you can make a whole podcast about that story.
That's such a great story. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's for sure a good moment. Yeah, that's for sure.
Very good. Your favorite place to ski?
Samnown, where I'm at right now. It's my hometown. It's where I've grown up. It's an insane ski area. I honestly, like, of course I'm a bit biased, but I don't think I've ever seen a better ski area. I get to ski with my friends, with family. So for me, by far, Samnown.
For me, it's Felders. Yeah, of course.
He likes watering. You know?
Yeah, I like watering. I love there. It's just so nice. It's calm, and it's always good training, and it's always good conditions, and it's great. I mean, I just love it. In Felders, it's amazing.
Come the end of next season, I'll ask you both again. If there's one thing you could achieve in the next 9 months or so, what would that be?
I think from a team's perspective, I would love, obviously doing points things, it's difficult because I think everyone has the potential to be at the very front of FIS races and maybe even score Europa Cup points. But I think it would be great to get maybe even the whole team or almost the whole team to the World Champs. I think that would be a great achievement if everyone gets that qualification. And for me individually, Yeah, the goals I told you before. If I get to achieve all those goals, I'll be very happy with my season.
Martin.
Yeah, for me, I mean, as I said already, I want to get from every racer on the team. I want to get out the best they can personally, and then whatever that level is. But of course, we have high standards, and we don't say, okay, how you scored 25 points, great. But the best we can do, that's the goal, yeah, for everyone.
Very good. Well, we are going to be in Crans-Montana for the Tech Week at World Championships, so I hope to see as many of the 9 from the Edge Ski team there and come and say hello to us.
So do I. So do I.
When you get there.
Maybe we can make a collab TikTok with Martin then, if you're there.
Yeah, how about that? Alan and Martin.
It's not
all 4 of us though. Huh? I want to go see all
4. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Deal.
No, the deal has been made. The deal has been made.
No chance.
We've got a lot of dancing to do.
We have a lot, yeah, we have.
We keep making these little deals with people on the podcast.
Pretty bad, then my daughter in 10 years is looking this stuff and she's like, what the fuck?
We can delete it by then.
It's not great. It's not great.
Just go viral for the year or something.
Viral.
And then delete it.
No shit. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure to dive a little deeper into what you're creating. All the very best of luck down in South America and going forward into the new season.
Yeah, great success. I wish you great success, and I'm sure with the mindset you've both got, you will achieve it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the trust, and keep the podcast going.
Yeah.
And thank you for reaching out.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of the Skiing is Believing podcast, officially brought to you by Ski Racing Media. Final word from Alan and I before we leave you alone for another week. Well, we said that last week, but then we had Lara Gutbarami retiring on Tuesday afternoon. And yeah, the tour's going to be a little bit different without her, Al.
It is indeed, yeah. It's a shame, it's a loss, but there are plenty of people waiting to fill the void.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to these guys is hopefully if they enjoy it as much as we enjoyed speaking to them, then job done.
Absolutely. Ski Racing Media have got some great content coming out this week, so stay tuned there. Head over to skiracing.com or hit the link in the show notes below and that'll take you straight to the page. We've got a fantastic conversation coming out next week with one of the very best speed skiers in the world, so stay tuned for that. Alan, we've recently recorded that one.
We have indeed.
And it'll be going out next Monday.
Yeah.
What can you tell the listeners at this stage?
I'm not going to give them a name.
No, I'm not.
But
or a gender.
Or a gender.
No genders.
But this particular person has got podiums, wins, and so consistent. 65 top 10s. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on a treat.
I feel like that's one of your best sneak previews ever. That's the bar. You've set the standard down for sneak previews.
Yeah.
And that is where they are at. So a huge thank you to both Aleix and Martin for joining us this week. A huge thank you, of course, to Ski Racing Media for their continued support. Just a little bit of news to touch on before we go. Did you see Elvedina Musa Faria?
Yeah.
I think I sent it over to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
She has broken her leg giant slalom training in Saasvee, the glacier, which is now actually shut this week because of poor conditions, as well as the one over at Zermatt Cervinia on the Swiss-Italian border. But yeah, it looks like Musa Faria's probably season with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Definitely any hopes for World Championships looking unlikely, and Crans-Montana, a resort where she's had some of her very best successes.
Yeah, it's a big shame. Big shame.
So the Bosnians will certainly miss her. The World Cup Speed Tour on the women's side will too, and we wish her all the very best with her rehab and recovery heading towards the new season, where, fingers crossed, we do see her at some stage.
Yeah.
But as I say, stay up to date with all the Ski Racing Media content. We will be back again next week, unless another one of ski racing legends retires, which, fingers crossed, does not happen. Federica Brignone.
No, we don't want that.
We don't want that. I'm just saying, if it's going to be anyone.
Yeah, I think you should go and wash your mouth out now.
Yeah, I should. Very sorry. Thank you very much for listening. And we will.
See you later.
I'll go just to the bathroom now. See you later. Goodbye.